Bomac, trainer of Terence Crawford, says no matter what the weight is, the result is still going to be the same. Errol Spence is going to lose. Crawford going to beat him at any weight. That's what I want to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. But first, let me start off with a quote from Crawford's trainer, Bomac, who was recently released. I made some videos talking about the whole circumstance. In case you live under a rock, hit the subscribe button. It's free, and you get caught up with all that's going on. So Bomac, he was at Keyshawn Davis's last fight. Fight Hub TV caught up with him. And regarding the rematch with Spence, initially it was thought that the fight could take place in December, but we get more information out, and that information pretty much shows that it won't happen until sometime in 2024, probably early 2024 for whatever reason, budget reasons, time off, I don't know. But regarding the rematch, Bomac says, when the rematch happens, mark my words, the same thing is going to happen. But peep this. He says, and I quote, I would say even at 160 pounds, if it happened at 160, if it happened at 147, if it happened at 122, it's still going to be the same dang thing. Later in the interview, he gets asked about a potential Canelo Alvarez fight. I've given you guys many thoughts on the Canelo Alvarez fight. It's not realistic to me for a variety of reasons. So check some of the other videos for that. I want to focus more on the Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Now, this is my biggest problem. Terence Crawford is a terrific talent. He showed and he's proven that he can fight. That I don't know anyone that says anything other than that. But when I listen to some of the stuff from the Bud Buddies or Team Crawford, they make certain statements, but then when that statement is almost drawn into question, is something else. And I'll explain throughout this video what I'm referring to. So you have Bomac, who is saying that they could fight at 160. Crawford's on another level, he'll beat him. Maybe that's true. We don't know. But the funny thing is, when it comes to the Bud Buddies, especially in the comment section, they say statements just like what Bomac said. Oh, it don't matter the way, skills pay the bills, and the weight didn't matter. You're making excuses saying Errol Spence was weight drained, all these types of things. But then if that's how you feel, then why not do the fight outside of the 147-pound division if there's this notion that Errol Spence is spent and can no longer comfortably make the weight to the point where the fight's not going to be competitive? That's the biggest problem. I'm going to say it again because sometimes it needs a pullback. If you're that confident and you believe you've already been undisputed now twice, Crawford, and if you truly believe what you're saying, that Errol Spence is no match for Crawford at any weight, then why not up the ante? Errol Spence, he said post-fight immediately. So let's talk about the weight drain thing. Whether you believe Errol Spence was impacted by the weight or not, I personally think the weight definitely had something to do with his performance. It's not to say that if the weight was, something he can make more comfortably, maybe the outcome's the same. I don't know, because that's not what played out. But when I looked at that fight, that looked like a shell of Errol Spence, like almost like a ghost of Errol Spence in a version that we had never seen. And Crawford played the game strategically in the best possible way, and it worked out for him. What do I mean? He fought Errol Spence after the 2 car wrecks. That's literally what happened in his life after the detached retina. And then on top of that, it was off of inactivity. Now, part of that blame does go to Errol Spence and his team because he knew all these things that I'm saying, and he still thought he could beat Crawford, and Crawford was, skillfully on another level or whatever happened in that particular fight. So it is partly Errol Spence's fault for being like audacious and feeling like no matter what I'm up against, I don't need no tune-ups. I don't need any activity. I could just keep coming back. It was almost like a reality check for Errol Spence. Like he kept doing Superman things, flying through a car, no real broken bones, messed up teeth, get that fixed, then coming up and having Danny Garcia shutout performance and Ugas shutout performance. And then, he's bouncing back like Superman. But it becomes a bridge too far when you're up against someone who is as dedicated and as good as Terence Crawford, undefeated, switch hitter like Terence Crawford, plus you don't give yourself activity, things like that. So again, part of it, the blame definitely goes to Errol Spence and his team because you can't underestimate anybody. He thought that Crawford's chin was weak or he would be able to get his shots off, but he overall looked very, very sluggish in that particular fight. So again, what I was saying with the Bomac situation is you'll have Crawford Bud Buddies, Team Crawford. They keep saying these things like, oh, Errol Spence, he wasn't weight drained. You're making excuses. It doesn't matter the weight. But it does matter the weight if Crawford chooses to force the fight at 147 when it looks like it would give both of their bodies a break and you say you can beat him at any weight. Do you guys get the point that I'm making? If you're saying you can beat him at any weight, then what else is there to do to make this fight a bit more appealing and sellable? Because we already seen the first fight at 47. You won. You schooled him. You beat him convincingly. So we've already watched that. And there's many people out there who are watching this video, and if they hear what I'm about to say, they'll be like, oh, okay, Ego's telling the truth. He's not lying. There's a lot of people that they just don't even want to see the rematch. But because of a contractual obligation, it was written into the contract that Errol Spence is given the opportunity for a rematch. He's going to get the rematch. But needless to say, at the end of the day, there's people that don't want to see the fight because of how the first fight played out. So as a result of that, at least make the fight more intriguing, because this will be another pay-per-view and it'll be another fight where Crawford's going to be a heavy favorite this time, and we need to make it exciting. Who wants to see the same exact fight with no different variables? Of course, Crawford, given how the first fight looked, is going to be a heavy favorite, and there's really not much value based on such a flat performance by Errol Spence if you do it at 47. So if your team is saying like, oh, we'll fight him at 160, 180, we'll fight him at featherweight, none of it matters. So if it don't matter, show us that it don't matter and consider the fight at a higher weight class, 54, 60. 60 might be doing too much, but at least 54. And they both look kind of sucked up throughout the fight week. Errol had hired a nutritionist and things like that. So I was like, all right, he did as best as he could to make the weight. I thought he would be cool, but based on the performance, in hindsight, looking at the whole picture, I must say that the weight looked like it took a toll on him. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel. It's free. I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. More content coming. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with a $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy.
I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We work.